Krishna, dear friends. In this video, I will talk about the perfect time for inviting a new soul, or perfect time for conception. During Vedic times, people used to follow very strict Garbhadan Samskar. And Garbhadan Samskar is actually a process of doing so many austerities by husband and wife together in order to invite one of the best souls in the whole universe to their family as their kid. So if you are below 20, age of 20, I would highly recommend, and if you are married and if you want a kid and your age is below 20, I would highly recommend to use this book, to read this book, and to find the perfect day for conception. So there are so many rules that you need to follow in order to invite a great soul. And during Varnashrama times, during Vedic periods, higher classes of people, they used to follow this. They used to have gurus who teach them. They used to know all this knowledge and they used to follow. And as a result, they used to beget wonderful kids. Look at how Arjuna is so nice, Pandu's son, and Yudhishthira. So they used to follow these rules and beget a powerful kids into their family. But unfortunately, if you are suffering with infertility, like I was suffering for several years after marriage, following all these rules sometimes is not possible. Why? Because in order to wait for the perfect time in a year, you may get only one time. Like this book explains which nakshatras are good, which titis are good, and what kind of austerities you need to do. Every time you conceive, you have to worship the deity, you have to offer so many flowers, you have to chant 50 rounds, and 1 year ahead you have to do so many austerities. So for the person who is around 30 or above, following all these things is not possible. If it's possible, then you may get a wonderful kid. There is no question on that. But in this video, I want to talk about what we followed. Yes, there are huge amounts of rules, but being a Kali Yuga person, we followed the next rules. So there are at least we need to follow basic rules to invite at least a good soul. I mean, okay soul. Who knows? Everything in Krishna's hand, so our son may grow up as a nice devotee of the Lord. He may not become Yudhishthira or Arjuna, but we pray that he becomes a good devotee of the Lord. So what we followed is, yes, there are particular times which are best for conception, best for inviting, like Parashara Muni, when he wanted to conceive Vyasadeva, he was a great astrologer and he saw that planets were standing in such a good position. It was such an auspicious time to invite a great soul, and Vyasadeva is the incarnation of the Lord himself. So Parashara, as a great astrologer himself and great sage, saint, he used that chance and invited Vyasadeva into this world. But in our stage, we don't know so many astrological things. We are simple people, human beings. But let's discuss what at least we need to follow in order not to get a rascal kid. I mean, if you get bad kid, your life will be miserable. So what we avoided is that main Vaishnava festivals like Gaura Purnima, Ramanavami, Narsimha Chaturdashi, Janmashtami, Radhashtami. So already we avoided 5 days in a year. Also we avoided uh, next days like Purnima or Amavasya or Ashtami, all the Ekadashis and Dvadashis, or days before Ekadashi, because you need to consume nighttime, so next day is Ekadashi, so these days are not good for conception. And you need to avoid all the solar eclipses and lunar eclipses. So main things we can follow is avoiding these days. And regarding particular times for conception is we avoided the Rahu Kalam. Rahu Kalam is when planet Rahu is so powerful, so it's avoided. And we avoided Gulika. Gulika is also son of Shanidev, they consider, and it's not very auspicious time for inviting a soul. And dusk time, like sometime before sunset and 2 hours after sunset, it's a very, very serious time. We shouldn't conceive or invite a soul in that time. And daytime, like some people, non-devotees, they conceive even invite a soul even daytime, but it's not according to Vedic Garba Samskar. We shouldn't do it during the daytime. And other thing is during midnight. Midnight also is not good time for conception. And other is Brahma Muhurta, when all these times are good for doing austerities, like all these days also, Purnima, Amavasya, Ekadashis, these are all good times for austerities. And the times also, like solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, are so dangerous to invite a soul. Because during solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, the demoniac planets like Rahu and Ketu, they cover the moon and they become so powerful, and influence of those demoniac grahas is that they may give demoniac kids. So that's why during solar eclipse in Vedic times, people used to cover their windows, stop cooking, stop eating, hide all the eatables, and if they have chance, they used to immerse themselves in sacred rivers like Ganga or Yamuna and fully chant powerful mantras for protection during those solar and lunar eclipses, because it's such a dangerous time. And if you are not devotees and if you don't have uh, knowledge about Vedas, we conceive anytime. So what if we conceive during solar eclipse and lunar eclipse? We may get some mentally sick person, sick kid. It's not good. It's very bad. Or we can get some demoniac kid, which like Hitler, you know, or some kind of president which is creating a war, which is bombing the normal citizens. So it's not good. It's not good. It's not good to invite such kind of souls to your family. It will create a disaster. And during dusk time, Lord Shiva is so merciful to all the living beings, and Lord Shiva's followers, he is so merciful to all the living beings, even to subtle living beings like ghosts and all these lower living beings. He is so much merciful to them also. So during dusk time, Lord Shiva travels around the earth to find a body for these people, because they're in subtle body, they're suffering, they don't have physical body to enjoy, because if you don't have physical body, you are not able to enjoy with your senses. You need senses to enjoy. That's why they suffer. That's why Lord Shiva wants to find a human body for these living beings. So he selected a dusk time when sun is setting, and after some time, when sun sets, he travels and sees where this conception is happening. So if some couple is conceiving at that time, he says, okay, go to this family, and he sends the soul inside the womb of that lady, and they will get a follower of Lord Shiva. So follower of Lord Shiva is great, but the quality of that follower is person may become again demoniac, or uh, he may take birth with defects in the body because they don't have good karma. Those living beings don't have good karma. Bad karma means either you don't have hands, you don't have legs, or you are not having good health, or other disasters, That's why dusk time also we avoid completely. And daytime we avoid because if baby is conceived during the daytime, it's not respectful to sun planet and to other grahas. That's why, and sun planet gives the health. That's why kid may become unhealthy. He may have weak health. That's why we avoid daytime. Basically, when we conceive is after sunset. We wait 2 hours. So you have to see what time the sun is setting in your area. I cannot tell the time, like from 8 o'clock to 12. If I say in the United States, sometimes at 8 o'clock sunset. So after that, you have to wait 2 hours and then try for conception. So you have to see your locality and see the sunset time in your locality. And after 2 hours from sunset, you can conceive until midnight. So these are the basic rules actually we need to follow. Basic rules for timing when to conceive, when to invite a baby. So friends, why we request a good kid? Why we try to invite a good kid? Good kid means a kid, a soul with good karma. That means a soul who will have both parents until they get old. That means a kid will have enough food to eat. That means a kid will have place, shelter to stay. That means kid will have good intelligence and kid will be a devotee of God. So that means good karma, dear friends. What it means if karma is bad? What if we are inviting some not good kid with bad karma? Bad karma means kid. What if it's destined that kid should live with only one parent? That means either parent separate or one of the parents die. It happens when some kid with bad karma comes to your home. Suddenly all wealth goes away. Suddenly you lose your wealth, you lose your house or car or whatever. So that means kid we invited with bad karma. Or if it was good karma, then when you became pregnant, suddenly you got a job in Google and suddenly you got a Tesla. That is the good karma of the kid, because that kid should get those opulence. He's coming with that opulence. That's why Krishna is arranging all the facilities for that kid. That's why parents get that, all the wealth. And kid with bad karma means he may not be a devotee of the Lord. So that's why not devotee of the Lord means what if he starts smoking? What if he starts doing bad things like killing others or robbing people or joining some mafia? So these are all signs of a bad kid with bad karma. That's why, in order to live a peaceful life, in order to have lesser headache, it's better to do some austerities, that is a little bit of austerities, to invite a kid with good karma rather than enjoying and not following anything and then inviting anyone and anyhow. As a result, for whole life the life will be so much suffering, because I saw with my own eyes how I used to stay in Indian family, and old mother, like around 70 years old, she cannot work. She was staying with her son in a small apartment, and the toilet was outside of house. and son was married, he had wife, and one day mother couldn't go out because it was so far, and she went to the bathroom as a toilet, and her daughter-in-law got so angry and shouted at her husband, and the son beat his own mother. That is such a bad karma, such a bad kid. So that's why, dear friends, if we do in the beginning little bit austerities, we can invite good souls to our family. So this was the video on timing of conception to invite a good soul. And if you are very serious and if you want a demigod as your kid, then I would really suggest you to buy this book and read and follow everything, which I couldn't follow fully because this is I think you need to be a really saintly person to follow all the rules of this book. So in the next video, I may speak on what to do in order to get a son, or what to do in order to get a daughter. Let me know if you have some questions. If you have some suggestions on the topics of pregnancy, let me know in the comments and I'll read. And yes, so many things I didn't speak on the video because I feel shy. I put in the description the link to the website mohinimadhu.com, so you can go there and read all the details. I may keep on updating those articles. A video I cannot update, so you can find new fresh articles and read. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.